Okay, so today on episode, what, 4? Is it 4 now? I think it's something like that. I was going to adjust this, but I've done that. You see I'm applying some pressure here, and it's pretty good now. It's definitely a good clutch now. As to whether the clutch is good or not, we don't know. I will be test riding this today. I don't have a GoPro. Well, I have a GoPro, but I don't have a setup for the helmet yet, so we're not going to get any footage of that. I do plan on doing that in the future. The other thing that we're going to tackle is like that. There's no pressure there whatsoever. So this is our master cylinder, I believe. I really don't know a whole lot about the braking systems on motorcycles. I can tell you that this has been worked on before, because those screws are foobar. But we're going to check and see if maybe the brakes need to be bled, which may lead to these calipers being seized. We might have to free those up with some lithium grease, but we're going to try to do this without, we're going to try to get it at least functioning without buying any new parts. We may not be able to do that. We may have to order new parts. I'm hoping that the clutch issue is what the problem was when it comes to the power issue there. Oh, you know, it's just at AutoZone. I should have bought a compression tester. We're probably going to have to test compression. We might have to rebuild the motor if it's low on compression. But I'm hoping we don't have to go that far with it. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and take this top off here and see if we have any brake fluid in there. I almost forgot to mention, the beer is ready. We're doing this the right way. Okay, so look in there. You can see there is absolutely no fluid in there. In fact, there is a pretty remarkable amount of corrosion. So I'm going to attempt to clean this. Is there? Oh, I thought there was a hole there, but there's not. See, look in here. It looks like there's a hole through it, but I think that's supposed to make it so I can visually see on the other side if there is fluid in there or not. I'm not like a professional at this. I just kind of like try to look at the obvious and see if I can fix it. So yeah, I'm gonna clean this up before I put any fluid in there. This is pretty gross. Okay, so I've got that sucker cleaned out quite a bit. It does still look kind of dirty now that I'm looking at it through a camera, but we're gonna put the brake fluid in here and see if we can get some pressure and see if we can bleed these suckers out. And the frustration sets in. Okay, so there was no fluid in this system whatsoever. I don't know if I'm correct in assuming this. I'm not really assuming it. So I took this off and then I pulsed this a few times, and it's not getting up far enough to slide down into this area. So I'm gonna go to AutoZone and I'm gonna pick up one of them little trigger action vacuum things and try to suck the air out of that with a little pump and see if we pull the air out and the fluid down, maybe we can get the brakes to actually do something. But as of right now, if I pull this out and I pump this, the fluid isn't making it far enough into this. This screw's hollow with a hole in it to let it go through, but it's not making enough. It's not pushing the fluid enough for that to happen. So I'm gonna run to AutoZone. We'll pick up that tool. Hopefully we'll get somewhere with this. And boom, new tool. Now I have to learn how to use it. So I've never had one of these before. I imagine you hook a hose up to this guy and you just pump and it comes out. But I'll tell you in a minute when I figure it out. All right, so I've got this set up so it's creating vacuum. I'm assuming that, I think there's a piece behind this that might distribute this as it comes down. It might also be preventing me from pulling the fluid through. So I'm gonna remove this and see if maybe there's a bleeder point on that or something. I don't know. We'll check it out and go from there. Okay, so the braking system on this bike is a bit more complex than I had thought. So this is a point for this caliper on the left side of the bike, and it looks like that line runs down. Where'd it go? Let's see right there. This is the brake line, and it looks like it runs back to the back side of the bike. This brake here runs from here down there. It is. Runs right through here, down here, and to this. So I'm going to disconnect this again and see this again and see if we're getting anywhere with that. Alright, so let's talk about what I just did. So, God, I gotta put more fluid in there. Oh. There we go. Excuse the horrible camera work here. Alright, so what I did is I cracked this, and it looked like fluid was actually getting somewhere. So I closed it back up, followed the line down. I cracked this, make sure it was good, and then I took the bleeder right out. Just took the whole thing right out. Now with cars, the fluid will flow through the bleeder. So you open the bleeder and press it down. You create pressure in the system. You hold the pressure in the system, then you use a bleeder to relieve the pressure. And it'll squirt out the bleeder screw, which I just set somewhere in my craze here. What did I do with it? Anyways, so instead of putting the bleeder screw back in, I put a fitting back in here. I started pumping it out through here with this guy, and sure enough, we got some really nasty brake fluid. So we're gonna continue to pump this out until it looks good. And then we're going to put the bleeder screw back in, then create pressure in the system. All right, so we now have a significant amount of pressure. Like I'm applying quite a bit here of pressure. I haven't moved the bike yet, so I don't know if this caliper's seized or not. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to take it off the lift, take it outside, and take it for a ride real quick and see how it feels with the clutch adjusted and with the brakes functioning all the way around. I'll be right back to give you the report. Alright, so still a huge lack of power, but the clutch problem is solved, the brake problem is solved, it works. The brakes might be sticking still, so I think I'm going to send the caliper out on both of these to get rebuilt, get new pads. I could probably do it myself, but I'd rather pay someone who does it all the time to do it. Something that was like a dumb move for me. So I never checked the oil on this friggin' thing, and that's really something you should do right away when you get a motorcycle that's new to you. And I'm curious if that might have something to do with a lack of power. The RPMs get up there and it moves and stuff, but I never really thought to check the oil. Sure enough, she's dry to the bone. That's why she has no power. She needs oil. So we'll do an oil change on her on the next episode here. I can't get this thing back in there now. But it's running. It's stopping. Brakes are in good shape. While we tear it down, we're probably still going to send all the calipers out to get rebuilt or replaced with XS calipers instead of XJ, if there's a difference between them. But pretty happy. Oh, we got to get the key. Where's the key? Hold on here. The key. Yes, the key. Boop. Gonna have to fix that, eh? So I think we're gonna go with blue. I'm gonna order a 6-inch fender. I'm gonna tear this seat off. I know somebody who does some leather work now, so might be able to just fabricate a seat. Might just order one, I don't know, we'll figure something out. I found some shorty shocks that I like. I just don't know if they'll fit or not, or how much fabrication I'm gonna have to do to make them fit, or what the deal will be. But overall, we're making progress. Runs, stops, rides, we're in good shape. Gonna have to get some bags, a bat wing. We'll get the bat wing, the bags, the tank, and the fender painted blue. I'm gonna have a local guy do that who has done some work for me before. And I think that's gonna be pretty solid. I'm pretty happy that we were able to get the brakes working today. It stops a lot better. The clutch is way better. No issues with the clutch. Obviously, we 150% need to do an oil change on this sucker, so that'll probably be the next episode. Never done an oil change on one of these, but it looks like the filter's right. Yeah, there's a filter right there, so shouldn't be too bad. Well, this is Retro Freak Out. Appreciate you guys watching. I can't wait till this bike is done. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm thinking this bike is going to go to my brother, and then I'll pick up another project. I think that's what this channel is going to be. I think I'm just going to pick up projects. Maybe I'll like finish a project and give a bike away every now and again or something. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know. I kind of want to keep doing this YouTube thing. It's kind of cool. So I'm meeting a lot of sweet people. All right, guys. Talk to you later.